Nothing in life is free, bruh. Support the channel. Be a fourth quarter boy for life. And subscribe to the Patreon. The link is in the description box below. Cardio. Double down, Debs and gents. The wait is over. With no further ado, the most magnificent imperial authority of the film room, the illustrious visionary of X's and O's, your host, Professor Lake.
All right, you already know what it is, Fourth Quarter Boyz Sports. It is me, the illustrious one, Professor Lake, in the building, man. Like, comment, share, subscribe, be a fourth quarter boy for life. Hit the notification icon from your dog. Subscribe to the Patreon. Let's keep these videos rolling out. You already know what it is, man. So I'm just perusing through some of the interviews the Chicago Bears players had recently. And, you know, today we're going to talk about Gervon Dexter a little bit. But more importantly, we're going to talk about what some of the veterans have to say about the young buck out there. And, you know, a lot of guys were looking at the tape, questioning the ball get off, you know, questioning the technique and just different things of that nature. You know, just looking at him as a guy that was going to be a project for the Chicago Bears. But according to Justin Jones, you know, this guy is a special piece right here. This is a guy that, you know, one of the veterans says is going to be somebody the Bears is going to want to hold on to. And as much as I'm critical of Ryan Poles and thinking about drafting a guy like Jalen Carter, where the Bears would have had to draft him at, and in exchange getting a Gervon Dexter, and, you know, just seeing what some of the veterans are saying about him, this looks like a good choice right here. This looks like a very good choice. So I'm hoping everything pans out. When you're a teammate and, you know, you're just trying to fluff somebody up and make it seem like, you know, they're going to be a contributor and things like that, you know, it doesn't sound like some of the comments that Justin Jones had said. He seems to be really impressed by, you know, the intensity that Dexter provides, and he thinks that once they put the pads on, Gervon Dexter is really going to show how good that he could be physically and intensity-wise, you know, against NFL talent. Now, when reporters were asking Cody Whitehair about Gervon Dexter, he said that he uses his hands like, you know, a two-year vet, somebody that, you know, wouldn't gain these skills and techniques until later on down the road. He's coming into camp with, you know, advanced hand fighting techniques. You know, that's just a vote of confidence. You know, that's really also a vote of confidence for some of the naysayers questioning, you know, what Gervon Dexter really was going to bring to the table. And, you know, as time went on and we saw interviews on CHGO's podcast with the defensive line coach for Florida, and just him explaining the type of player that Gervon Dexter was. Just listening to some of the players that have been playing with this guy for a couple days now, you know, just seeing his competitive nature. You know, ball players know when they see a guy that's going to be a contributor, and you know, things are looking up for Gervon Dexter. Things were already looking up for Gervon Dexter, but just for the fans out there, waiting to see if this guy was going to go ahead and turn that big body and athleticism into, you know, usable and productive traits on the field. I think I'm going to be really excited to see Gervon Dexter. That in mind, we'll also talk about Darnell Wright, our first round draft pick, and Cody Whitehair also wanted to add that the guy's athletic, he has great feet, he's long. During one-on-one drills, his strike was impeccable, and of course he has, you know, excellent strength. So it sounds like Darnell Wright's a man. Sounds like he's going to be able to step right in there and at least physically, you know, not be dominated by, you know, defensive ends and defensive tackles out there. Now it's just the mental part, you know, just making sure he knows his assignments and his rules to the game, the rules to the offensive, things of that nature. So I think things are really lining up, you know, offensively. One more thing that Cody Whitehair said about Darnell Wright was that he was impressed in regards to the shape that he came back to training camp in. So, that just talks about the character of the #1 draft pick for the Chicago Bears. What kind of things, are impressive to some of the veterans in the locker room. Now, this isn't necessarily on the downside, but Cody Whitehair did, mention that Tevin Jenkins, is on the opposite side of the offensive line than he was last year, and he's rewiring his mind to kind of like do the opposite of what he would have done when he was on the other side of the line. So I think there's going to be some work ahead. I don't want to just draw too much opinion from the comments made during the Cody Whitehair interview, but it sounds like he might be struggling, maybe having some missteps, working on the left side of the line. I think it's going to take a little bit of time. But, once he gets there, I think he'll be all right. He did play on that side of the line at some times in college. So I just think it's going to take a little bit of repetition and he'll be fine. But with all of that in mind, you already know what it is, man. Things are looking up for Gervon Dexter. Definitely was a critical guy, just looking at the tape when he was coming out in the draft. Just listening to some of the pros out there, I'm going to lean into the opinions of the pros and just think that, Ryan Poles might have got us a guy right here. He sounds like he has the right attitude. He sounds like he's going to be a person that's going to work hard to try to be one of the best defensive linemen in the league, and he's already working from a great athletic base. He's already working with some skills that a veteran offensive lineman has said are pretty advanced. I'm definitely looking for Gervon Dexter to be a guy for the Chicago Bears this season. Darnell Wright, hey, he's just like what the advertisement says. Everything that you would want in a first-round draft pick, everything is lining up. Hands, the feet, the physicality, he's in shape, willing to learn. So yeah, I think things are looking up for the Bears, in regards to their drafting. Kyler Gordon is said to be going off as well. They're calling him Spider-Man, Peter Parker. Yeah, so things sound good. And, I can't wait to the first preseason game. I can't wait to game 1 of the NFL season. Just to see how everything fits together for the Chicago Bears. And this is the whole video without saying, QB1 or Justin Fields being involved at all. So aside from how Justin Fields is going to do, we have a whole lot more to be excited about checking out as this offseason rolls on into the regular season. But you already know what it is. It's fourth Quarter Boyz Sports. It is me, the illustrious one, Professor Lake, in the building, man. Like, comment, share, subscribe, donate to the Patreon. Let's keep these videos rolling out. Holla at your boy, I'm out.